Okay, before we start, I just wanted to show you two things. Why am I showing you that? Well, because somebody on the internet told me. So it must be true, mustn't it? Welcome back to the channel. I get a lot of comments on my videos. Um, I use LinkedIn and I follow people on LinkedIn and I see lots of comments on there. I follow other people on YouTube for various different hobbies and interests, and EV cars is one of them. And I see a lot of the comments on their videos as well. And it's interesting that a lot of people get really upset when you talk about EVs, even though they probably have never driven one, probably never been a passenger in one, probably not likely to buy a new car in the next 5, 10 years anyway. But they're really against EVs and feel that they've got to tell the world that they hate them and tell me that I should stop talking about them and promoting them because we don't want them. Okay, you're telling me that you don't want them, then that's fine. I'll go and tell all the manufacturers to stop researching and developing and building them, shall I? Give Elon Musk a quick call and just say, look, you got 2 minutes, step away from Trump for a second. I want to have a quick chat to you. You need to shut all your factories down because nobody wants Teslas anymore, apparently, because someone called Gerald on the internet told me that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, I thought I'd make this a bit of a light-hearted video, a bit more fun. I'm going to go through a couple of the comments that's caught my eye recently and sort of like just read them out to you and you can make what you want. Now, I guarantee that I will get quite a few comments on this video from people who, again, are getting upset about EV cars. But you know what? If I don't, I'm going to be gutted. I'm going to be gutted if I don't. So I guarantee that I will. So please feel free. I probably won't read them all, but it might cheer me up. Anyway, the first comment is, EVs are like fat-free products. Looks great on the surface, but the reality behind them is a whole different subject. Well, actually, you know what? Fat-free products are really good and they're better for you. So that argument, I actually don't understand how they can relate that to EVs at all. Fat-free products have been scientifically proven to extend your life. They've been scientifically proven to lower your cholesterol and make you healthier or stop you getting illnesses more often or having heart conditions. So actually, if they like fat-free products, then that's actually not a bad thing. It is only carbon neutral after 50 to 60,000 miles. Okay, so depending on where you live, makes a big difference. So some countries have high renewable energy sources. So a lot of their network is made up from renewable sources, such as Norway. There, a car could become carbon neutral within 2 years or 10 to 20,000 miles thereabouts. Places like America, which have got a higher fossil fuel network, it's going to take longer. So you're probably talking more like 5 to 6 years potentially. And maybe anything between 20 to 40,000 miles. Again, depending on the electricity. It's really hard to calculate, but these are just kind of researched estimates, not facts as such. But it's definitely not 50 to 60,000 miles. And the other one is, it's not carbon neutral for 10 to 15 years. It can be within 2 years to 5 years on an average driver. Okay, next one. EVs are all boring. No feeling, no sound, no enjoyment. Awful. Not for me. I am not a robot. Okay, I'm a petrol head. I've always been a petrol head. I've had, I don't know how many cars I've had in my lifetime. 25 maybe. But I've had some family cars, I've had company cars, I've had sports cars, and I've had ones that I've modified myself and uprated the exhaust system, lowered the suspension, put a dump valve in, put an induction kit in. I've done all that. I've been there as a teenager into my 20s. That was what I was into. So I've always enjoyed the sound of a raspy exhaust going under a bridge. I love it. However, I do enjoy the quietness of an electric EV when I'm driving. It's quite calming, it's quite relaxing, and it means I can actually enjoy the radio. It means I can enjoy the conversation with the person next door to me. Um, so yeah, I do miss the exhaust, but I don't at the same time. And as for not being any fun, my EV, I have probably had the most fun out of it. I absolutely love it. It holds the road. It's so rapid. It's equivalent to about 170 brake. It is absolutely rapid, 250 newton meters, I think, the torque, all from the word go. It flies around corners. I just love it. It is so much fun to drive. So anybody saying they're not fun to drive probably haven't driven one or haven't driven one more than a couple of goes around the block, maybe. Okay, so these next two, I'm going to read these out. These kind of made me chuckle a little bit. First one. When you realize the end game, orchestrated by the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, is no cars for anyone, it makes sense. And I don't think they were ever meant to work. They don't want the public having their own private transport. Okay. I don't know how to respond to them two, because the economy would collapse if people didn't have vehicles. If people didn't have cars, they had to rely on public transport, the economy would collapse. People don't work in their local environments, in their local towns anymore. We all commute. Um, so we need our own transport. So saying that it's just they don't want anyone to have public transport is just ridiculous. Whether it's EV or ICE, we need private vehicles. We have to. The country wouldn't survive if we didn't. Cobalt is used to make batteries. Okay, that is factually correct. But cobalt is also used to refine unleaded petrol, and a lot more of it. So it seems that EVs have become the new vegan. So a couple of years ago, when veganism really kind of took off in the mainstream and a lot of people were doing it, there were a lot of people that were very upset that people didn't want to eat meat all of a sudden. A lot of people were complaining that McDonald's did the McPlant burger. What are they doing? We don't want that in our restaurants. Well, no one's forcing you to eat it. So don't eat it. If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. I do pescatarian the first 3 months of the year, so I don't eat meat January, February, March. It is a lifestyle choice. I'm doing it at the moment, and it's something I've done for several years now. It helps me control my weight. It gets my cholesterol down a little bit because my GP keeps complaining about it. But it's something that I want to do. I don't feel like I need to eat meat all year round. I just don't need to. But a lot of people get upset when you don't eat meat and they think that you're somehow going to infect them with this veganism. Or if you're not eating meat, then it's an insult to them, even though you're not eating with them and you're not going to make them eat what you're eating. They can eat whatever they want. But people must really have vegan sort of best interest at heart. The amount that they go on and tell them that they shouldn't be eating vegan foods. So anyway, I think EVs have become the new vegan at the moment. A lot of people out there hate them. A lot of people are showing disinterest in them. A lot of people feel hurt that people might actually want to drive a quiet, relaxing, fast, non-polluting vehicle. Especially in towns where we've got where I live, there's quite a lot of schools all quite close together, and parents are out with the engines chug, 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 chugging away. Especially in the cold weather, you can see the fumes come out the back of the vehicles. They're not all new vehicles. A lot of them are quite old, so they're probably polluting a little bit more. And it's just polluting the local atmosphere. With an EV, you don't have that pollution out of the exhaust. So your actual areas around the schools, the air becomes cleaner because we haven't got that pollution. But anyway, so I thought I'd give you a few of the comments that I've seen recently on my LinkedIn page and YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and like I say, I can take them. I don't mind. People can say what they want. It's not going to change my mind. It's not going to affect me at all. But I can guarantee there'll be a lot of upset people in the comments about this video. And that's absolutely fine. That is your right to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm not going to listen to you, but it is your right to tell me that I'm wrong if you feel that I am. And before I go, I wanted to just give you 3 more examples of technology that people have feared in the past. Okay. The first one was the printing press. The public feared the printing press. They feared it would spread misinformation, undermine the authority of the church, and make scribes obsolete. It hasn't. It led to the Renaissance. It led to democratized knowledge, and it kind of contributed to widespread education around the world. The second one is electricity. Quite apt being an EV channel. But electricity, people feared electricity. They feared that this electricity would jump from house to house in the night. They feared that if you looked at electricity, it would take your soul. Now we rely on it for pretty much everything that we do. And the last one I'm going to leave you with, and this one did make me laugh when I read it. The last one is the fear of trains. And they feared trains because, and I get it, they're big steel things with smoking funnels, and if you've never seen one before, I could see why it would scare people. But they feared trains because it would harm passengers traveling that fast. It would disrupt the human body. And the best one is, it would stop cows from producing milk. And on that bombshell, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.